Hey, this is Victor from the Victory Training Podcast, and today we have Rodney with us. He's been a member with us, I don't even know how long ago that was.
Decade and a half.
But it was a very memorable few months. How long do you think you were working out here?
Yeah, so I lived a block away from you, and we probably met 12 years ago. I had a friend that was training here, and you and I just kind of hit it off, and I always enjoyed what we did here, and been members of several gyms, and then just started my own as well.
So that was, what do you think? It was like 2012? I opened in 2011.
Yeah,
So,
right after that,
right?
Yeah,
It was
it had to
2011?
be 2011 because I bought
So it was when I first
my
opened.
house in 2012 and moved. So yeah,
Wow.
long time.
It's crazy how long ago that was. Um,
Just 3 kids later.
3 kids later. Not that we had together.
Shared custody.
What? So a lot's happened. We could talk about you coming dressed up as a personal trainer for Halloween.
That is still a annual staple that people request. It's one of the highlights, and we'll post a pic here in a second
Yeah.
for the people to see. But that thing still gets rave reviews.
You tagged me in it.
I tag you in it
like
every
it shows
year
up.
for 3 or 4 years with me pointing at the Field of Victory
Yeah.
sign, which is funny because you were a trainer, you owned a gym, I was not. And then I went and got certified as a personal trainer in 2020 and still wear that with pride.
Dude, there you go. Boom. So it's 2020 that you got certified?
2020, I got certified during COVID, yep.
What made you do it?
I've always enjoyed fitness. I played sports all through school, and you end up working out with a bunch of people, showing them what you do, how you do it, and I was like, I love this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do it full time. And one thing that really gets me is overweight adolescents, right? And I wanted to get back. I ran super discounted rates because it was a side thing. So I got certified from ACE as a certified personal trainer, but then I went back and got my youth development certification as well. I worked at the YMCA. I ran a kids fit club there, teaching them, once they hit 11, after they're done with the body weight stuff, introducing them into weights,
Yeah.
and how they can use them. So when you go into a weight room, it's not that daunting.
Yeah.
It's not scary, and you could create your own kind of routine.
Did you do it at the Y on Irving Park?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was good friends with the director there, and I just went and checked in there with him after COVID, and they're like, "What have you been doing?" And I pulled out my certification. Like, "Do you want a job?" I was like, "No," because I had a full-time job already. But when I got to talking with them, they as long as they were flexible with my schedule, because I travel a lot for work, they were super flexible with me, and I came in. I had a few clients and that I was adults while I was working on this kid fit, and then the director and I there, we really agreed that doing something for the kids would be great for that program and the Y as a whole, and it took off. We had 15 kids every week for probably over the winter for 6 weeks before we do some outside summer stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I feel like you're a community guy,
For sure.
right?
Oh yeah.
I feel like actually, do you remember a guy named Roasty or Kayla or Jose? They lived in your neighborhood, and they were. I think like Kayla maybe played on a softball team with you or something like that.
I played
Maybe
on
I
a
don't
lot
know,
of
but she
teams.
told me that you guys were in some sort of community group or something like that. Were you in like a neighborhood group? Or
Yeah,
something
so
like
I'm still part of a few. Like I was on the local school council at my kid's school. I'm part of the athletic field advisory council. We
Maybe
do a
it's
big
that.
fall fest and movies in the park and summer events. Costumes don't stop, just in the personal trainer. I also run the train at Fall Fest and got the whole engineer outfit as well.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So all right. You got to this point as far as like in your workout regimen and things like that, and like you became a trainer and all that stuff. But like even before that, were you always a person that lifted weights and worked out, or did you start doing that as an adult? Like how like what's like the story behind that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely started in high school with sports, right? Off season was in the weight room, in the season was on the field or on the court, but workouts were such a part of it. And then, as you got older, it was like I was working, I was 22 and working golf course maintenance and bartending at night. And that I didn't have any time running 2 jobs. So luckily the landscaping, that was hard work, right? So you get your workout during the day that way. So you do push-ups and ab slide and whatever you can in an apartment, right? And then once I got a full-time job where I had normal hours, I was right back in the gym, right? So, weights have always been, I mean, resistance training is so good for the body, right? For the bones and health and, people think cardio is where the weight loss happens. It's not. It's weight training.
For sure, for sure. And then what do you think about, like, what would you say as for the mind? Do you feel like weightlifting is like that's something like that helps you too in that way?
Yeah.
Or do you do it more? Is it more physical for you? Like for me, I'm asking that because like for me, like I like to work out. I want to be strong. I want to look good in my clothes and stuff like that. But like there's another part of it where it's like I think the most addictive part for me and the thing that makes me keep coming back is like I need it for my brain, like for my mind, for like just like whatever mental health, emotional health.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely mental is a huge part of it, right?
Yeah.
If I'm having a bad day and I can go get a workout in, I've never left the gym and been like, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I don't have it, my mood changes too, right? So I had like a small procedure done. It ended up being stupid, where I couldn't work out for 2 weeks because there was like a complication. And I would like be walking on the treadmill and just staring at the weights behind me, just like longing for them, and it's funny because like, you work out long enough for 20 years and everything's kind of the same. I mean, I'm like a gym membership collector, right?
Yeah.
Orange Theory, CrossFit, the cool new fad. Like, I mean, I have probably 4 gym memberships right now. I need Rocket apps for my gym memberships just to see what I could actually get rid of. Because I love seeing new things and trying new ways, but the mental aspect is huge, and I don't want to buy more clothes.
That's another thing, right?
I know my size when I buy off the rack, and I don't want to change that.
That's a good motivator too. I'm gonna use that. That's good. That's funny. Now, when you decided to get the training, so did you because you flipped your garage into a gym as well?
Right.
Did you do this before you started with the Y or after?
Yeah. So the garage renovation, first off, I mean, it started with like a squat rack, and working out in the garage because I didn't have time to go to a gym or just want a quick hit, and it kind of evolved where I started collecting more and more equipment, and finally I was like, I'm gonna do something real here. And we'll flash a picture of the garage renovation for the people watching at home too, because that happened in COVID. Before the certification even happened, I was like, I want to have my own space and cancel some of these 4 or 5 memberships that I have.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I know you did. I knew it.
And the main reason is because I love working out alone. I love not waiting for equipment. I like to be able to do it on my time without a schedule, which was always hard for me when it came to working out in kind of group settings. I could never go on their time. Even if I had all intentions of going and physically wanted to go, mentally was ready, something would pop up. Kids, work, life, you never know. And I can't hold myself to schedule. So having my own outlet to use at any time was huge.
Yeah.
But then I'm an ego guy. You know me, and I'm competitive, right? Sure. Every game's Game 7 of the World Series. I beat myself in the gym every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm only looking at myself. I like to see what other people are doing incorrectly, correctly, what they're pushing for. Give me a reason to kind of up my game, and I need that social aspect. I need to see people, talk to people. I can't just be locked away and isolated like that. So I would tell you, I don't regret the investment of doing my own gym, but I probably use that 10% of my time.
Got it.
Everything else is in a commercial gym.
I feel like I just speaking for myself, I can't speak for everybody, but like working out at home, it's an amazing option. It should always be there as an option. But there's something about going, the environment. Even if you go to an empty gym, but you're not at home, like you're at a gym, like a place where like this is what I do here. I'm disconnected from family, the kitchen, the couch, all those things, and like I'm here to do a specific task, and I'm gonna leave. And it's like there's something about that is, for me personally, it's by far just like can't be matched than doing an at-home workout. Even if I had all the same things in my house, it's just like, or the workouts will end up being super long, where I'm just dragging them out, or I'm just taking right because I got nowhere to be. But if I'm at the gym and I don't want to work out, sometimes those are some of my best workouts because I want to leave so bad. So I'm just like boom, 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 and I'm out. But yeah, no, for sure. I think the environment matters.
It does. And, that's the power of a personal trainer too, right?
Yeah.
Is because I think I have a great workout and I beat myself up and, I give everything I got. But I like when someone tells me what to do and holds me accountable, right? And I'm on their time. So you're respectful for that. And you come up and you show out, because sometimes you don't want to think of after a while, you don't want to just go and do the same thing every single time. And that's what it ends up being. When you stop getting sore, you got to switch it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And that's when you need someone, myself, you, to tell me what to do, right? Show me something new, because, if the longer you stay isolated in those scenarios at home, the harder it is to try new things.
Right. Do you still work with do you still do like group classes or any form of I guess being under some form of guidance when you work out?
Yeah, not as much, but whenever I do travel, especially for work, there's a guy that I work with who's kind of a fitness freak.
Okay.
He's off-road BMX guy, total wild card, but he's a big CrossFit guy. And we will always, whenever we travel together for work, we will go do the 5 a.m. workout before we go to whatever conference or sales meeting that we have. And we would do CrossFit across kind of the country, right? Which is cool. So I kind of collect those shirts. My wife hates it. I got way too many t-shirts, but it's a stupid hobby.
Okay. Okay, so nothing like official per se, but you got like a workout bro.
I do.
Gotcha.
I do. And, I love the group classes, and, there's another spot that opened by me. But again, I did it for 6 months, and I want to go 5 days a week. Schedule allowed me to go once.
Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, I totally get what you're saying as far as just being so hard to get into the gym, and that's why I structured my gym the way I did, as far as even though it's a little different than when you were here. It's now we have an app, and then you just have every 15 minutes on the hour, you can reserve it at any time as long as it's before the time, and then you just come, if there's a space open, you just come in and work out, and then you have obviously you got your stations, which we did have that, I think.
It was a lot more structured.
But it was but I don't think I didn't have as much equipment either, right?
When I came in before we started today, and I was like, what's this on the wall? And then you hit it 3 times, you got the personalized workout. I was like, that's cool, man. Okay.
Did we have the racks?
You had the racks. Yeah.
I remember we had the ropes, those miniature.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got a picture in my head of you doing those. I forgot about it. Okay.
I blocked it out too.
I'm trying to kind of remember how it was, because things that was always the plan, but it took time for me to be able to build it.
Yeah, I mean,
but that, to me, that helps as far as or that the idea behind it is to help what you're talking about. It's I would like to do a group class, but my schedule fluctuates way too much.
Yeah.
It's okay, cool, then you have this option where you can just see if it's available, and if it is, you take it and you just run over and do it.
That's smart.
And that's why I keep it very neighborhood based, because the convenience matters.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You need to be able to just get there. You can't now it's a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, or whatever it is, or 45 minutes of travel in general. But yeah, no, I get it, man. I'm the same way. I just never. I think too, for me personally, I would use a personal trainer. But for group classes, me personally, I just my workout time is so like about me that like I don't really want to follow. I don't want to do what the whole group like. I'll do it obviously, but like it doesn't fulfill me as much. You know what I mean? Like I want to come in and like kind of do whatever it is that I want to do, like kind of at my pace. I like to kind of like feel it out.
Lone wolf's got a lone
I
wolf.
kind of,
Right?
man. You know, for better or for worse, man.
Something about being tortured with other people, and I don't mean tortured, right? But some of those workouts, man, they're grueling.
Oh
And,
yeah.
you know, when you go in group scenarios, they kind of get a bad rap, right? Because everyone's scared to go in front of a group because I might not have the same skills or that person looks way more in
100%.
shape.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but like the whole purpose of going to a gym is to get better personally for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Something about just sweating it out with total strangers or even people that you know and watching them struggle or persevere or power through because you want to quit, but you see the person that's doing it for the first time and they're still going, it kind of gives you that boost, right?
Absolutely.
So I like it for what it is, but I also now, mid-40s, 2 kids, full-time job,
Yeah.
I am there for a reason and I want to get in and I want to get out.
Right. No, 100%. And yeah, no, it's my preference to work out on my own. But as far as like how hard I go in a group class compared to how hard I go on my own,
Night and day.
night and day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna and they challenge you in different ways, and you just got to take what's thrown at you. You
Yeah.
got to do it. You know, there's fun to it for sure.
And you don't have to think, you just have to go.
Right.
Right?
That's the
the
beauty.
nice part.
Right. If you have a trainer or group class,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone that's structured like that, it makes a huge difference.
It does.
Yeah. How much time do I waste in my car thinking about what I'm gonna do?
How much time do I keep myself at night
So
knowing
annoying.
tomorrow is a lift day?
Right.
And I'm already coming up with the sets and now I'm already scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you? So you mentioned your kids. How do you? It's like a two-part question. So like, how hard was it to adjust to, you know, being a new dad and a new parent and being able to still stay on a workout program is one part of the question. And
That's
the
a
other
selfish
part,
question, I know, but
no, I mean, I do it. Like I kind of had my own way of doing it. But then the other thing is the other part of the question is kind of like, and how do you manage it now?
Sure.
Yeah.
First off, shout out Jolie, Tyler Smith. Hey, I told you I'd give you guys a shout out. And you know, Vic, I know you just had a baby, right? And congrats.
Thank you.
And you're also trying to figure that out because it is a total game changer, right? You know, our first kid, I was 30 years old, and I'm used to dinner when I feel like it.
Sure.
Work out whenever I want because how much time can you spend with your wife, girlfriend, spouse, partner, right?
Right.
You get sick of each other no matter what, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym for a couple hours, bye, right?
Right.
Once you have that kid, you know, it changes everything. It's
like
nap time.
you're gonna go where for a couple?
Yeah,
hours?
it's nap time. It's this like we need to go get these things that
Yeah.
are essential. You're not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you got it made where you have that outlet. Like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to work. I got clients. This is my job.
Dude, don't. We're recording, man. We're recording.
Vic's wife,
bro.
don't
Be
listen.
careful. Yeah.
You know, but prioritizing health is super important. And my wife
Yeah.
was on board with it too. But man, you throw a second kid in there,
Yeah.
forget it, right? I probably gained, you know, 10 pounds per kid in the early stages, right?
Yeah.
But once you get the routine, you prioritize your routine and you make it work with, you know, whoever you're with at the time, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, first kid was a big learning curve and time commitment, time management,
Yeah.
and what it means to have someone else dependent on you for life.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
And then fast forward to now, I got a 10 and a 13-year-old, right? Most of my time is taking them to and from sports with gyms in it. So, you know, I'm either running with them or I'm lifting on the side or, you know, leaving one at home while I go because they got watches, they got phones. It's night and day,
Yeah.
right? And it's just fitting it in when I could means so much more to me now that I have the time, right? So when I complain that I have to go or I can't believe I got to lift again today or I just remember how hard it was to even get a workout in when I wanted one.
When they're young.
Yeah, and now that like, you know, you get into that mundane, redundant mode, you got to remember what it was like to not be able to. So
100%.
to me, it's been a gift in time availability and also just wanting to do it more now because I can.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, man. For me, like when the baby was brand new, like I, I said it from the beginning. I'm like, look, like, you know, obviously I'm gonna take off some time from work and stuff like that, but like, you got to give me a couple of days to go to the gym, because I was so scared that I was gonna fall off of it, and I really didn't want to be. And for more than anything, for what we touched on earlier, like I need it. Like it helps me mentally a lot. Like I can like really spiral if I don't. Like I need it. I need to work out. It's something that just makes me feel better.
Absolutely.
100%, man. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's and I don't want to take validation away from what I'm gonna say, but like it's I'm trying not to call it an excuse, but it's a common excuse that people
Sure.
make about, I have kids, it's killing me and stuff like that. And not the kids are killing you, but the schedule is killing them.
Sure.
They're killing their workout. They can't do it. And like, I get it 100%, but like, it's like, man, it's so important to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Because like, right? Like, I think, listening to you is like, okay, yeah, it was hard, but you still, even, right? Maybe some seasons looked uglier than others, but you were still like scratching at it. You were trying to get it, trying to do it.
Yeah.
And then now, since you kept some sort of routine, now that your kids are older, you're not starting from scratch.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the worst, right? The hardest part, as you know, is getting to the gym.
Yes,
Right?
100%.
And the hardest part is if you take any kind of hiatus, getting back on that wagon, right? It is impossible. Starting over is brutal. And, when
Humbling as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And the excuse train, I mean, it runs daily, especially in my head, right? But my wife and I, we were smart at the time. It's like we set up like, here are your hours. If the kid wakes up, here are yours, right?
Okay.
So there was no guesswork.
Got it.
I'm on the clock, and then when she's on, that's when I can go and fit my thing in, right? And but shit, once it became man to man, and it was 2-on-2. All bets were off, and we had to refigure it out, right? But life's about adapting. The gym's about adapting. Your body's about adapting. The older you get, more things hurt, right?
Man.
And my lifting style changed from lift heavy to lift better, right? And maintenance mode, right? So from those holiday seasons, I'm not trying to do anything except for be able to eat cookies and go to all the parties and not put on a different size pant, right?
Yeah.
My workouts are different from, November to January. And then it's, we get into more shred, right? But I go form and function over anything I could do in my 20s, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny to watch the body evolve. It's funny to watch the workouts change.
100%. Yeah, because your priorities change, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like I got, no, I agree. I'm the same way. Like I'm kind of seasonal. Like right now I'm starting to be like, all right, maybe I should shave a couple of pounds off. Like, but the thing is though, I feel like a lot of people don't, like, they don't realize how early they need to get ahead of it. So they're trying to shave a couple pounds off like May 21st.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that
For
that
Memorial
first,
Day.
Yeah. Like that sunshine. Like, man, I gotta lose a little bit of weight. But like, no, you gotta start doing it now, and then you'll be set for the summer. And then you can, then you can kind of like, you can even chill a little bit in the summer, kind of maintain, and then regroup.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, that's true. The having like some sort of like seasonal programming too.
And those quick drops, man, is like the worst because you're never going to keep it off. You're going to put that back on plus some, right?
That's just what it is.
If you're dropping 2 a month, you can keep that off, right?
Yeah.
Man, we got to talk about this Ozempic and Wegovy shit, though. Otherwise, I feel like we'd be missed opportunity for people that want to create a disease for themselves to take a medication for weight loss.
Anyone did that, but I'm sure it's out there.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to see it in 2-3 years. If you ever took this drug, there's a class action lawsuit for you because, I mean, there are no quick fixes, right? Abs are made in the kitchen.
That's the thing.
You can't work out a bad diet, right? Yeah. But you can maintain with a bad diet and some function, right?
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, everyone says it. They're like trying to see, okay, what is this going to look like some years down the road for people that are on it? The thing is this: it's the problem is not the people that are on it because they're supposed to be. It's the people that are abusing and things like that. And it's not that it's a bad it's whatever. That's their choice. But I think that overall, man, it's the messaging of the fitness industry in general. Like there's a toxicity there
No doubt.
that kind of like overlaps with that as far as like the quick fixes, the shortcuts. If you do it this way, then you're gonna if reach your goal without it's always like I feel like the dream that's being sold is always like get the best results with no work,
Changing nothing
and
get all the changes.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's like that's just not true.
Right.
And like they'll do that with like if you use this piece of equipment, or if
Yeah.
you take this specific class, or if you work with me as a trainer, then it's gonna and it's just like a lot of the effort just lies on the person, and they're just gonna have to do it or not. And then you have to be you got to be realistic with your goals too.
Yeah. I mean, goals and mindset, period, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say that we did this, but you crush a killer workout for an hour and go try to eat bacon cheese fries guilt-free, right? It's not guilt-free, right?
Yeah.
It might not hurt you as bad, but it definitely didn't help you, right?
For sure.
And it's a mindset too. And like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this long term,
Yeah.
right? Where the fixes aren't quick, because quick fixes, they don't last, right? Mm-hmm. And South Beach diet, keto, paleo, right? Like, I'm going to eat like the cavemen ate.
Yeah.
Why? You tell me if I didn't give a blueberry muffin to a caveman, he wouldn't have scarfed that thing down and be like, this is the best thing I ever had.
Right, that's true.
And you want to emulate your diet to live to the ripe old age of what, 27?
Yeah.
Like, what are we emulating them for, right?
Yeah.
It's just wild, the nutritions, the supplements, and the things that people kind of think is going to get them to where they want, instead of just doing the work.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's just, you got to find your rhythm, you got to find your way, but the concept that the way could be easy is just, it's not true, unless you're already there, right? That's the thing, right? I mean, I can remember my pre-workout meal being Burger King, and I was in pretty good shape. I was also 19.
Sure. that was that M word, metabolism.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, dude. So like things change, and you got to fix it up, and you got to figure it out, and you got to say, hey, this is what reality is.
Yeah. I do like now though. Like, I'll have a cupcake or something, and then go to the gym later in that day, and I'll do some like cardio, and I'm like, well, you like cupcakes, right? Because I'm like, you're 10 minutes in, like, I can't go 30, like, I got to get out of here. Like, you like cupcakes though?
Yeah.
You had it. Keep going, and sometimes it helps.
That's true. And this is my big thing. It's like if you're gonna eat cupcakes, you're gonna you're gonna eat whatever it is that you want to eat. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is why you're shocked as to why you can't lose the weight. That's the part where it's like, okay, well, listen, like, you can't. They don't go together.
Right.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, and I'm not here to tell anyone to not do something, but having a bite of a cupcake or a bite of a piece of cake, just so you know, the rest of it tastes the same.
Man.
You scratch the itch.
Hey.
Have the bite, don't have the whole cake.
It's hard. It's
right?
hard.
And for me, I learned I have a huge sweet tooth, Vic. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love sweets.
And I do. My kids,
So
man,
much.
there's candy in the house all the time, and I learned it's easier to not eat it than it is to work it off.
That's the fact. I heard this guy say it correlates a little bit. It wasn't in respect to nutrition or health, but he said, winning is always more fun than fun is fun.
Sure.
And like that's the truth. Like getting the result at the end, like up front, it sucks, but like after, like the result of the discipline that you use, it's going to be way better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'm not trying to tell people what to do at all, like what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat. But I'm like, man, like if you want to be like just at more peace, Like you just have to be realistic with like, okay, and understanding and accepting like if I eat this, this is the result of it.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around that. Like we're constantly trying to get around it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, there's no getting around it. If you eat that, that's the result. Period.
And know that it's happening.
Yeah.
And have the big meal, the cake, the whatever, on a day that you know you put in 10,000 steps and burn calories. Right?
Yeah.
Make sure that
Enjoy
it's
it.
on not the day that, you know, you just binge watching TV and you buy that Costco sized bag of gummy bears and you're like, I'm going in.
100%.
Hey,
easy to do.
Do it on the active days and have the cupcake, right? But, you know, to me, I remember that one bite, it tastes the same, the whole cake. I don't need the whole cake.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you know, you got to find balance in it, you know, to, you got to enjoy your life and you got, you know, and things like that. It can't be like super rigid and strict. You got to figure out a way to love it.
There's good stuff out there, good restaurants, good food. I want to try it all, right?
100%.
I'm not here to pitch anything except for whatever you put in, you also got to work it out.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, man. Anyway, Rod, I appreciate you, man.
Always a pleasure to see
Yeah,
you,
man.
Vic.
Hopefully I can have you back soon.
Yeah, I mean, we barely scratched the surface on the topic, so.
100%. Guys, don't forget to like or subscribe, or like and subscribe, not or. Like it and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody.